just so excited about this book, this trilogy, just writing in general. I love it so much. It feels like this was destined to be. Walter is peeing. Oh my god. Hey guys, I'm on my way to the library. I have some holds that are available, even though my TBR list is like 15 miles long. And then right after that, I have my writing group at the library. So it's just gonna be a fun day of bookish, writerly stuff. It is Sunday the 23rd, and I actually leave Wednesday the 26th for a vacation. My husband's out at my in-laws with the kids, and I just have some YouTube-y type stuff I was doing earlier, and I attended Mandy Lynn, Natalia Lee, and Brooke Passmore's live stream on Mandy Lynn's channel just a little bit ago, but I didn't vlog any of that because my hair was wet from the shower. I mean, it kind of still is. I didn't get a whole lot done. I was just kind of reading through some of my future chapters that I'm going to be working through. Still barely scraping into that second act because just haven't had a lot of time to really devote to writing with all the life stuff going on. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that, and I will see you guys later. Hey guys, I just got back from my writing group, and I don't know about you guys, but every time I get done hearing feedback about what I'm writing, it's almost like a high that you just want to dive in so deep and just keep writing. The writing that they're reading is basically in that second draft status right now. So it still probably needs work, but today I got some really good news that people are actually picking up what it is that I'm trying to translate from my head onto the page. It just feels really good to know that I'm articulating that, I guess. I can't articulate it now, but it's such a great feeling to know that people are understanding what it is that you're trying to write. And to actually hear that I'm doing a decent job, it feels really, really good. And it just fuels me, and I want to just keep going forward. And I'm just so excited about this book, this trilogy, just writing in general. I love it so much. And, you know, I'm 37, so this is something that I have come to, pushed away, come to and pushed away for years, like for my whole life. Since I learned to write, I'd write a story and then I'd stop writing for a while. Then I'd get really back into writing again, push it away for a while, get back into it. You get the idea. But it took me a lot of start, stop to really get it. Now, being 37, I can look back on all the false starts that I had, especially with this story, because it was originally written as a Sims 2 series back in 2005 through 2007. Being able to watch something evolve over time it's just a rare thing, because a lot of, in today's society, everything's so disposable, so quick. Just consume it and then it's done. It feels to me like my ability as a writer, I think what I'm trying to say is, as a writer, I've really grown and kind of come into my own, knowing what kind of messages and what kind of things I want to say and put out into the world. Whereas before it was more just for fun and for my own, you know, benefit or pleasure. It was just for me mostly. And for years, any writing I did was just for me. I basically locked it away from anybody because we all have that mentality that we're not good enough. The imposter syndrome strikes and all of that. And I dealt with that for years. Now that I'm finally at 37, putting myself back out there and being well received so far with what it is I'm trying to create with this eventual trilogy, with this book that I'm working on right now. Seeing it be well received, even from people who don't necessarily read the genre that I'm currently writing, it just feels like this is right. Like this isn't just some wild hair or this dream that I've had. It feels like this was destined to be. I don't know if that makes any sense to any of you, but I keep looking out the window because the clouds are just so cool, like amazing. They almost look like cloud ships. I'm gonna show you. It's so... I am all over the place, you guys. I'm sorry. Look at that. It's like they're airbrushed in places. It's just the coolest thing. One of my tangents. I'm really good at that, as you guys know. I think any of you other writers on here will kind of at least understand part of what I'm trying to say. It just feels really good, and it just drives you forward when people are actually hearing the message that you're trying to convey in your writing and actually getting it. The subject matter I'm tackling in these books isn't something... I've read a lot of paranormal books, but this is something a step beyond paranormal. It's more... I always use the word spiritual, and that can mean so many things to so many different people. I don't even know why I'm filming right now. I'm just in this really floaty, cool, excited headspace, and if I could pause time right now and just get my laptop and write and write and write and write, I would so do that. Like, I posted on Facebook today that I wished I could just push the pause button on time for like 3 years so I could just write. And that has carried into this evening where I feel the same way, but it's like on a whole other level right now. Am I making any sense? I feel like such a weirdo right now, but I'm a weirdo, so it's whatever. It is what it is, whatever. I think it's just because, especially lately, you know, since Camp Nano, I kind of took a break in May, not really getting anywhere with my writing, but since June has started and I've started vlogging my experience, I've really picked up momentum on the writing, and I feel like I'm getting somewhere, and maybe that's why I feel so good about this project now, whereas before I'd feel really good about it, and then out of nowhere I'd be like, no one's gonna read this. People are gonna think I'm weird or crazy or whatever. I have to just stop myself and say, who cares what anyone thinks? I always used to care, you know, especially growing up and into my teens and early 20s. I always cared what everybody else thought about me and what I was doing. And I wasn't taking into account, well, how do I feel about me and what I'm doing? And now, you know, since my whole spiritual awakening deal, for a while there, I was not caring whatsoever what anyone else thought about me and what I'm doing. But now I'm kind of getting back into that middle ground where, yes, I still am cognizant of other people, what they think or what they may think, and, you know, just in the back of your mind, what are people gonna say about this book if they read it and think it's trash or something? I'm sure every writer on here that's watching this right now knows what I'm saying with this. This is very writing related, but I'm not actually writing, but it is a writing vlog, so I figured I'd get my thoughts out while they were just bouncing around between my ears. It's better to get this out, this feeling. I hope I can just keep this feeling, like bottle it up and keep it for a while and carry it with me through the rest of this draft. I'm at the very beginning stages still of the first half of the second act, and I'm gonna need that fuel and momentum to carry me into the second half, the second act, and then the third act, because where I'm sitting, I still have about 78% or so left of the book to draft, and I need this fuel and momentum to carry me through. Okay, I am gonna stop. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for listening to this little weirdo thingy, whatever it is. So I have a little while, probably about a half hour before my husband gets home with the kids, and I figured since I'm all gung-ho to write, I might as well do some reading through these scenes and do some writing. So I'm gonna do that for the next 30 to 40 minutes, and hopefully I'll get a little bit done that I can actually have an update that I'm out of those first 2 chapters, scenes, whatever, of this first half of the second act. So let's see how far I can get. guys, I feel like I made a little bit of progress. I made my way through 2 scenes that equals about 1,500 words. It was about 1,700 words, but I kind of condensed things a little bit and clean up the wording of things a bit. Yeah, well, we all know. So I'll just show you where I'm sitting now. So when I started, I was here. I read through this scene and this scene, and I'm now ready for this scene. So I'm actually starting to make some progress. This is the folder I'm in here. Once I get to the end of this here, that will be the end of the first half of the second act, or what they call the midpoint. I feel pretty good about where I'm at and how far I've gotten in the last couple days, even though I really haven't had much time to do any sort of writing. But I did mention this is kind of my most solidly written section of the book, because when I picked this back up in January after I took December off after Nano, I kind of reread through the second act and even added things and cleaned it up a bit. So really the second act is kind of more in a third draft stage in places. Of course, because I kind of want to point more things towards the internal conflict, and most of this is really showing the external conflict. I do need to work some of that in, because I kind of was missing that point when I was untangling the 2 books at the beginning, or when I had picked this back up to write it as just book 1 because I realized it was 2 books. I know, I'm even confusing myself at this point. I don't remember my exact word count, but I do have quite a bit of words in this section, and God, my lighting is all over the place. I'm so sorry. My whole book is 86,502 words, and in the grand scheme of this book, I would like it to be as close to or under that 80,000 mark as I can, especially if I am going to traditionally publish this, which I'm still undecided on that publishing path. I know there are some things I need to scrap, but there's a lot I want to add to this, and if I already have 86,000 words, this book is just going to be huge. And I have no problem with it being a long-winded book, but I don't know. I know for traditionally published YA, especially a debut novel, like, you don't want it to be over 80,000 words, because I think somewhere between 50,000 and 79,999 is like the norm for a young adult novel. So, sorry, Walter's decided to have a conversation. Anyway, as I was saying, keep it below 80,000 if you can, but so many of the paranormal, supernatural types of YA books I read tend to be over... Walter is peeing. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, you guys. These books tend to be, you know, closer to 400 pages than the 300 page mark, so I don't know, I think things are trending upward as far as word count goes. I could be wrong, and again, I'm talking traditionally published. Of course, independent or self-published can do pretty much whatever the heck they want, at least as far as I know. Which is a bonus, because, you know, I don't know what way I want to go. Now the wind's picking up. I can't escape it. I'm not supposed to be vlogging right now, I guess. I'm feeling good about my progress for now. My last little Queen Alexandra poppy is hanging on. Even though their petals are fleeting, they're gorgeous. So gorgeous. I'll see you guys later when I'm back at the writing. Bye.